is people give, like those teachers, first responders, entrepreneurs, and then they don't use gratitude and forgiveness to see all that they're given. Sometimes it's really challenging, right? There's no evidence at all that all of your efforts that you gave, all the money that you donated or gave, that there's no evidence that you're going to receive anything back.
The zero sum factor. I would love for you to give them a little more hands-on actionable things that they could do, implement, that would cause them to experience what you have experienced, and to some degree I have experienced, and how they can get to meet you and go to these events because you have so many of them.
I love that. So number one, the simple practice of fear with it is our reaction to fear. You don't have to know what you're afraid of. Go to therapy, spend millions of dollars on Tony Robbins, Joe Dispenza. They'll help you figure out what you're afraid of. David Meltzer will help you with the instant and obvious, which is, hey, I'm reacting to fear. I have a need to be right, a need to be offended, a need to be separate, inferior, superior, anxious, frustrated, angry, guilty, resentful, worried. These are all things that are not grateful. And so when we know we react to fear, instead of resisting it, trying to, you want my book, I'll sign it, send it to you, pay for shipping in the book. If you want to come to my speeches, get media passes, join my private networking group, david@dmeltzer.com. I answer all my emails personally. It's my first name, David, at my first initial D for David, Meltzer, like seltzer with an M, david@dmeltzer.com. Or in a
Let's start again. Sorry, I did not hit.
No problem.
Okay. So David Meltzer, welcome to the Dr. Smiley Show. I'm so excited to have you on. I decided I'd not hit the record button so we could do that part twice. Okay. So I've seen you at some of the biggest events, and I've heard you speak to people, and you really bring community together. And, the value of seeing community engaged is that someone's saying things that are very valuable that'll change people's lives. So thank you for spending time with us on the Dr. Smiley Show. I wanted to ask you, how did you get from where you were to where you are now that you're able to have that kind of impact?
Yeah, I've been blessed, number one, but it's really understanding the three worlds that I've lived in. One, born into the world of not enough. I had a single mom who raised six kids, worked two jobs as a second grade teacher, packed our dinner in a paper bag in a country squire station wagon, drove around filling up turnstiles with greeting cards at convenience stores, to making my first $1 million, from moving from that world of not enough, where everything happened to me and the only struggles I had were financial. Everything else in my life was amazing, to a world of just enough for me. I thought it was a positive philanthropic world, made my first $1 million 9 months out of law school. My first exit was in 1995 with West Publishing, $3.4 billion, moved up to Silicon Valley, raised hundreds of millions of dollars in the middleware space. At the age of 31, I had more than enough of everything, but thought it was just enough. There was always more to get. And so running Samsung's data division, running the PCE phone, cleverly enough, the world's first convergence device, which is really a smartphone, married to my dream girl from the fourth grade, starting to build my family, worth over $100 million. I've never felt so empty in my life. And that world of just enough for me caused me to challenge my paradigm. And before I even lost everything, which I did, I lost over $100 million, went bankrupt while I was running the most notable sports agency in the world, Lee Steinberg Sports and Entertainment. They had made the movie Jerry Maguire about our firm.
Can
I
we stop there
realized,
for a second? Can we stop there? How did you lose that?
because I didn't ask for help. And that's where that paradigm shift happened. I, thought I knew everything. I never thought I needed help or asked for help, or I had problems receiving. I just believed the more I gave, the more I would receive. And I just was really good at making money. That doesn't mean I had a good relationship with it, or I understood the infinite loop of giving, where you give more, you're given more, you receive more, and you ask for more than more, and then you're able to give more than more, receive more. I was stuck in the same zero-sum game that most people live in. Most generous, kind people like first responders and teachers and our United States veterans, they're classic for living in the zero-sum game, where they give everything and receive less. I'm here to tell you, if you give more than you get back, you're going to end up at zero. It's math. And so you need to be in an infinite loop of more than enough of everything. You can't live in a world of trade and negotiation where you give to receive. It has to be an infinite loop where you're given more, receiving more, asking for more than more, giving more than more, being given more than more, receive more than more, ask for more than more than more. You see where I'm going to end up when I'm 80 now. And so that paradigm shift of there is no seeking more. It is, I am enough. I have enough. What am I doing to interfere with it? Because I'm part of an infinite system of more than enough. I'm just interfering with it.
David, I just want to say, when you were doing the more, I'm telling you, that sounded like a Dr. Seuss book in the making. I thought we were,
That's good.
I mean, if you think about it, if you did a children's book that was actually that message, you'd have kids that actually get the message before they have to find it out later that that's the way to live. So, give me an example. If you're a teacher and or an entrepreneur, and you're applying this no sum game, what you would shift in your actions that would cause the new paradigm to happen.
I love that. So first, I think everyone's good at giving. If I ask a crowd who here loves to give, almost everybody, if not everybody, raises their hand. So I don't think there's any challenges in giving. I think where the challenges lie is to use gratitude to find the light, the love, and the lessons and forgiveness for the mistakes that we made, the humility that exists within forgiveness and also gratitude. So what happens is people give, like those teachers, first responders, entrepreneurs, and then they don't use gratitude and forgiveness to see all that they're given. Sometimes it's really challenging, right? There's no evidence at all that all of your efforts that you gave, all the money that you donated or gave, that there's no evidence that you're going to receive anything back, that you're given anything but punishment. I will tell you, when I lost over $100 million, including my mom's house, which was the only reason I wanted to be rich was to buy her that house, it took a little bit of time for me to use gratitude and forgiveness to see all that I was given. How, instead of punished with no evidence, or worse in that case, contrary evidence to where I wanted to be or better, how could this possibly be promotion, protection, love, and perfection? So the first step is to, when evidence is not there or contrary to where you want to be or better, use gratitude and forgiveness to see all that you're given and remember, and recollect you're not punished. Then, now that we see all that we're given, we have to be worthy of receiving it. And the way that I practice receiving is to remember, and recollect how good I feel when I'm giving, and I don't want to cheat people. So every time I feel bad, like, hey, I want to buy you lunch. No, it's okay. I stopped that now. I said, yeah, thank you so much. Because I know how good it's going to make them feel to buy me lunch.
Right.
And I don't feel guilty or resentful or worried about it. I receive full heartedly. And then I might ask for dessert because I know there's more than enough of everything for everyone. So my true faith lies in believing in what people claim to believe religiously, philosophically, theoretically, and spiritually, that there's an omniscient, all-powerful God or source that has more than enough of everything for everyone. If you really believe that, why wouldn't you ask for more? When I don't want to ask, I picture whatever it is I'm asking for, two people sitting at a table. If I want to ask to drive your Ferrari, I'm going to think of 1,000 Ferraris on that table, and that's the energy I'm going to have when I say, hey, would it be possible for me to drive your Ferrari or borrow your Ferrari or buy your Ferrari? Because there's more than enough Ferraris for everyone. And so I take that abundant, not only wise position, but faithful position to give more, be given more, receive more, and ask for more than more.
Well, I have several things I want to say, and then off to the races with the conversation again. So, number one, I want to say that point you said about when someone offers you lunch and you say, no, it's good. You're shutting down all momentum of anything happening beyond that. You just stopped it, and you leave them feeling rejected. So I agree with you about that. Number two, I do want to acknowledge that Dr. Greg Reed with Secret Knock was one of the reasons I met you. And there's so many places I've met you, but he was one of the ones that I just saw your spirit so much more. And then when I wrote you on LinkedIn and I said, hey, you're doing this event Aspire, it's in DC. It would mean so much to me if you get me a media pass, not a free pass, but a media pass, which is coveted. And you made it happen. I just want to say thank you for that. You understand that I can't give or be myself without showing the world goodness. And I do that with a camera. So I just want to thank you for that personally. It meant a lot to me.
If you're
And
capable of doing things, you should do it. But you also have to be honest and give permission to people when they're not capable to say no or to change their mind according to the circumstances. And I think a lot of people's relationship in that giving circle that we talk about.
Mhm.
One, they're not sure they're capable, they don't articulate whether they're capable, and or they don't want to bother knowing how much it would mean to that person. I knew when you made that request how much it meant to you. And I knew that most likely I was capable, but I also knew I was capable of asking. And I also knew I was very comfortable to tell you if they said no, that at least you knew that I asked for you because I knew it was important to you. And being able to facilitate that is why I worked in the means in which I work to provide more options, opportunities, and touches of favor. My goal in life is to provide more options, opportunities, and touches of favor. That's why I created the biggest corporate and personal networking group of a neighborhood of people like you and I that just want to help each other and know people that help each other. And I'm now systematically using that not only to give access to me, but to you, Greg Reed, all the other people to be in our private networking group. That there's a bunch of people that want to help each other and know people that help each other.
And you had me experience your VIP dinner, and I just want to say, wow, you had a comment in there. I mean, your dinner's not inexpensive, but the point in your copy is it's valuable. So don't worry about the price; it's valuable. And you stood behind it by saying, if you're not happy, I'll give you all your money back. And I knew going into it was going to be powerful, but it was mind blowing. And by the way, that was the biggest ripple effect of the Aspire access you gave me, the biggest by
Yeah.
far.
It's so interesting because it curates a room. The same thing with the membership to our private networking group. It curates the room because I guarantee it. So, number one, if you can't afford it with the guarantee, then you're not ready for it. So you're not going to be of benefit to the group or to the dinner. If you can afford it and it's guaranteed, then if you don't believe in the guarantee or you don't see the value like you did, we don't want you in the room either. So
Right.
it ends up being a great curation. And that's why the events are so impactful, is that we've curated the room with people with open minds, open hearts, and open hands that have a little bit more success in their life that can help one another powerfully and impactfully.
So I did a gratitude exercise, and I want you to build on what you actually do, because that's what the audience is going to hear, how they can be a little more like the David Meltzer experience. So mine was, whenever I was feeling frustration, I moved and shifted into gratitude as quick as I could by thinking of one or two or three things I was happy about. And it became so quick and effortless after a while because I practice this so often, which hence the Keep Smiling movement lives through my heart, my spirit, and the genuineness of the people I attract. So you've told people the paradigm shift, the zero sum factor. I would love for you to give them a little more hands-on actionable things that they could do, implement, that would cause them to experience what you have experienced, and to some degree I have experienced, and how they can get to meet you and go to these events because you have so many of them.
I love that. So number one, the simple practice of saying thank you before you go to bed and when you wake up. I always say lower the bar, uh, as long as you can do it every day. So lower the bar to an activity that you can do every day, because 2 minutes a day is worth 2 hours on a Saturday. And if you
Mm.
don't believe me, look at any kid in Spanish. The kid who studies 15 minutes of Spanish a day is guaranteed an A. The one who studies 15 hours on a Saturday, not guaranteed an A. And so use that with gratitude. The second one is to identify your reaction to fear. So the understanding and the paradigm shift that we are already connected to the all-knowing and all-powerful, all the energy that you ever could imagine. So we want to shift the paradigm and ask ourselves, what are we doing to interfere with it? And the easiest, fastest, most instant way of figuring out what we're doing to interfere with it is our reaction to fear. You don't have to know what you're afraid of. Go to therapy, spend millions of dollars on Tony Robbins, Joe Dispenza. They'll help you figure out what you're afraid of. David Meltzer will help you with the instant and obvious, which is, hey, I'm reacting to fear. I have a need to be right, the need to be offended, a need to be separate, inferior, superior, anxious, frustrated, angry, guilty, resentful, worried. These are all things that are not grateful. And so when we know we react to fear, instead of resisting it, trying to out logic it, analyze it, go over it, under it, through it, around it, lie to it, manipulate it, cheat it, or deny it, just stop. And that's what true free will is in the face of reacting to fear. When you're frustrated or angry or arguing with your wife, try stopping, breathing, dropping down to center, to ease, and then rolling into the divine direction, changing that detour to a divine detour, and utilizing divine time in order to effectuate a positive behavior and a positive trajectory that creates positive outcomes exponentially. And so remember, when your mind, body, and soul are on fire, you got to stop, drop, and roll. And to join our community, whether you want to come to meetups, holding courts, free Friday trainings, if you want my book, I'll sign it, send it to you, pay for shipping in the book. If you want to come to my speeches, get media passes, join my private networking group, david@dmeltzer.com. I answer all my emails personally. It's my first name, David, at my first initial D for David, Meltzer, like seltzer with an M, david@dmeltzer.com. And we would love to have you. And you get special invitations to masters, special pricing, and free things. It's the best. And guess what? Yes, we charge for it to curate the room, but I guarantee it. You don't like the color of my eyes. You don't like my haircut. Or you need the money back. Look, I'm human. I needed my money back, and I wish somebody would have offered it back to me. That's the way this group is formed. It's the first place. It's a virtual handshake to help one another.
So I know we're wrapping up in a couple minutes here. I just want to say, you think you get a lot of complaints about your hair. I mean, people are always complaining. So I got your introduction. I wanted to get right into the conversation, but I just want to say, look up David Meltzer. He's the chairman of the Napoleon Hill Institute, legendary sports executive, author, entrepreneur, and host of the Playbook podcast. So we'll put links to all that stuff, David. I want to ask you 5 quick questions. Those questions relate to most people based on what these questions ask are the program of who they are at the highest level. So first one is, what book changed your life?
Think and Grow Rich.
What movie inspires you?
Rudy.
I love them. Man, okay. What song gets you going?
Happy Song by Pharrell.
Who's your hero?
My mom.
And what quote do you live by?
Be kind to your future self and do good deeds.
Love you, David. You're awesome. So, David Meltzer, I'll be putting all the links. I'm going to be seeing this man as much as I can this year because he's changed my life. But every time I see him, it exponentially grows my life. So, thank you for all the good you do. I'm a believer. Look forward to supporting you more. Thank you, David.
Thank you, David@dmeltzer.com.